So Sophie and Caleb have had their little baby girl, and for those of you who watch my videos, you will know that Sophie was pregnant. I actually helped her make over a change table not long ago and a chest of drawers. But she had a little girl, Norella Rose, and her and Caleb and the baby are doing all well. She had her on Remembrance Day, and so we'll always remember that day. But she's born safely and healthy, and Sophie's doing fine. So that was really good. Hi everyone, it's Danny here from our humble home. Thanks for watching this video today. Today I'll be making a sash, like a pageant sash or a celebration sash that people can wear, sort of a bit gimmicky too, like for parties and celebrations and that sort of thing. And it sort of came about because a lady that I had made a sign for a daughter's 21st asked me if I made them, and I actually said no, I don't. And then I said, but we'll give it a go. It can't be that hard. And so this is me today making it, and I thought I would just video it. I thought I may as well. We bought this cutter that I'm replacing the blade on here for the Cricut machine. I don't really ever use it. I have used it a few times and I find it a bit annoying to use. The blade was very blunt, so I'm just replacing the blade here because I will be needing something really sharp. I am going to be using this, and you could use scissors as well, but I'll be using it to cut this satin. Satin is really hard. Well, I find it really hard. It's really slippery to cut. It can move. It's not, well, you know what it sounds like. It's not thick and sturdy like, say, cotton. Also, it's very smooth and slippery. So I find it hard to cut satin. So I'm doing two things differently this time when I'm cutting my satin, and which I did do for the scrunchies as well, and that is to iron it completely flat to help it stay in place. Also, before I cut it, I am folding it as much as I can as well. And so I'll be using that little knife to cut through quite a few layers of this, but it will help in the sense that it should be a lot more accurate when I cut. I'm not going to be going off onto a tangent really, and it should cut nicely. Also, there's less to cut too. I think I made probably about 3 cuts of this, and then that was 6 sashes cut, so it makes a big difference. I'm just measuring the size. Now I will be just folding the sash over lengthways, so I'm not sewing up all the edges. I'll only have to sew one edges in the ends, and I think I made it 21 centimeters. Next time I'd make it 22, just to allow for a little bit. The seam is actually, yeah, that's what went wrong, because it's halved and the seam is probably about 1.5 centimeters. It sort of made it a little bit narrower than 10 centimeters. So yeah, I just realized that. So next time I'll probably cut it to about 23 centimeters. As you can see, it just slices through that like butter really easily and quickly too. So just 3 cuts and I have 6 sashes cut. I did have this satin there already, and that was one of the things I said to the lady. I said, I've got some satin here, so I'll just try to make it up, and I've got nothing to lose. If it doesn't work out, you don't have to take it. But spoiler alert, it did work out. I was really pleased with it. So I know I've mentioned before that ironing is really important when sewing. It's one of the most important things, really. I mean, you can sew without ironing, but it just makes it so much easier and so much more accurate when you iron before you sew, and especially with this satin too. So I ironed each piece and then I set up the sewing machine. Made the seam 1.5 centimeters. It just seems to be the width of the foot. It's probably about 1 centimeter, but that still is 2 centimeters because the fabric's folded, and that's why it's a little bit narrower than 10 centimeters because I only allowed an extra 1 centimeter, if that makes sense. So I just left a gap at one end of the sash, so I was able to pull the sash the right way through. The stitches on my sewing machine do make this satin pucker a little bit, and it's more noticeable when you turn it inside out and you sort of see it that way at where the seam has been sewn. But once it's ironed, it comes back okay. You can sort of iron it flat. And here I'm just using the scissors to turn the fabric the right way out, or turn the sash the right way out, just making sure I poke the scissors through to the ends and I make the little corners stick out. So I get all of the fabric out from the corners and they sit nicely. You could have this sash sort of flat at the end, like straight. I've seen that as well, but I decided just to make it a little bit more special and put it on an angle. A lot of people with sashes, and I've seen online, actually use ribbon that's 10 centimeters wide. That would be a lot easier to do. And I guess if you sold a lot of them, that would be the thing, because a lot of these sashes are just gimmicky and they're just sort of used as a one-off thing for a party or for a function or a celebration or something like that. I decided to do it with the satin because I had the satin there already. I think they also look a bit nicer. Yeah, they look a bit fancier, I think, with the satin, and they're a lot thicker. They just sit nicer, I think. So again, just ironing down where the seam has been sewn at one end, and then sort of ironing down, pulling the fabric straight and ironing it so it just sits flat both sides. I'm actually steaming this. You'll be able to see the steam in a minute come up. And I think I actually have it on the cotton setting, which I don't know how I didn't scorch it, but I think later on I changed it to like the nylon setting, and that's better for the satin. But it does iron up really lovely and really smooth. So time to put the writing on it, and I did have that roll, but I want to keep that for my signs, and I'm using just little offcuts to do the actual text to put on the sash. I do have a lot of offcuts and they do come in handy. Even if you've just got a little piece, just keep it because you're going to use it for something down the track. So I already have the design that I used for the sign loaded in my Cricut. I've saved that just in case I need to go back and use it for anything else, and it's sort of come in handy for this now because I'm just using the same words here to make the sash, and this is what will be ironed onto the sash, and this is what she wanted. It's her daughter's 21st birthday, so it'll be a lovely celebration and it'll be something special. She'll have a pretty sash, and I think the pink is so pretty. So I'm just doing the same process as I always do with my Cricut, is design it, cut it out, and then I'll be ironing it onto the sash. My mats always get so unsticky so quickly. They must get hair or dust or fluff or something on them. I don't know, but I'm actually sticking it down with masking tape there and just sort of pushing it down so it sticks. It's not so bad on such a little piece, but when you've got a big long piece, I'm thinking, oh, it's going to pull up, but it's okay. I think there is a way you can actually clean your mats. I think it's with dishwashing liquid you can clean them and they come up sticky again, so I might even try that soon. And the favourite part of the process is actually weeding the vinyl. I love doing that, and I also love watching the process as well, especially when it's sped up. I don't know, it's just very satisfying for me. Link to my signs Facebook page down below if you want to visit that. Even if you're in another country, you can visit that and just see what I've been up to and what I've been doing. I don't have a website yet. It's something I really want to look into, taking orders mainly off our Facebook Marketplace, but I do want to set up a website and take orders through that as well, because it's a little bit hard for people who are overseas paying. I mean, it's okay, but to trust me and all that sort of thing. So this is what it looks like. For some reason, the inverted commas went like that. I think I kept moving it around. I don't know what happened, but I can just cut that and reposition it. The 21st, I should have probably made a little bit smaller, just the way the ST is positioned there, but that will all be good. And then I go ahead and I iron it on. So when you place the actual print on, I just fold the sash in half and measure either side there from the top and the bottom. So it's even, and then you put the text sort of in between that. A sash is meant to go over your right shoulder, I think. I mean, I don't think it matters too much, but that's what I've read, and this one will go over the right shoulder. And I didn't put anything at the base to hold it together, but I do in the future want to look at little pins, some little decorative pins or something, or you could probably use sticky Velcro or something like that to hold it in place. The last thing I had to do was sew these edges together. The gap that I saved, the gap that I made to pull the fabric the right way out, I decided to sew initially. I haven't hand sewn in so long, and it just looks so messy. And I think because it's satin too, it doesn't sit completely flat. It sort of bulges a little bit. I decided just to take that all out and go a different route. And the idea I had was to put double-sided tape in between there. I mean, that's going to lie nice and flat. It'll be easy to stick down. And in the future, this sash was sort of like a prototype. It turned out really well. It's fine. I sold it to the client. But in future, I think I'd use the hemming tape for this, just in case they wash the sash. I think this would be fine anyway, but yeah, just in case, because I'm not too sure how that would go in the washing machine with that sticky tape. Hemming tape can be washed. So I think that would be a great alternative. But I was really pleased with the way this double-sided tape turned out. It made the join look seamless. It looked like it had actually been sewn in from the inside. And yeah, that was the effect and the result I wanted there. So you can see how neat that looks. And it's holding it together really well too. So that's the sash all done. Pretty much. I mean, it's so easy to do. If you can sew in a straight line, you can do this. I thought after I'd done this one, I thought this could be something I could sell on my page with my signs. So I wanted to do a mock-up. I had a look online, and they don't actually have many mock-ups of sashes, so I decided to make my own. I went into Canva and I went into Elements and got a picture of a lady. And then I went into Magic Edit, and what I'm going to do is highlight where I want the edit to be. So in this case, it's going to be a sash, and that's where I want it. You just got to describe your edit. So describe what you want the AI to do, and I just put white sash, and you click generate. If you're not happy with what's generated, you can generate again. That was fine. Up near the hair there, though, you can see on the shoulder, the hair, some of it looks good. That looks good, but some of them looked a bit iffy. But anyway, I picked that one and I decided to put in a different background. I tried a few. I love going into Canva and doing experimenting with this, but I decided in the end just to do a background that sort of looked real, like she was standing in a room or something, and then I added a drop shadow to it, and I thought that looked pretty good. I saved that and I thought, well, I can use that maybe for advertising on Marketplace or something for my sashes. And I continued. I did quite a few more. This was another one I did, but you can see with the line going over how I've highlighted that and I've put it over her arm. It will come up over her arm, and that doesn't look right really, so I had to redo it and just adjust it. And that was all good. And I did the same thing with this one. I just changed the background to make it a bit more realistic, and I added a subtle drop shadow there, and I saved that. Because I'm selling them on my science page, and a lot of signs I do are the baby in bloom for baby showers, I thought I would do one, a baby shower one, mock-up sort of thing, of a sash, a white satin sash, and I did that. And actually I did one here, and when I generated the sash, I actually wrote white sash with Mama in Bloom, and it actually ended up writing that on there. This AI on Canva is a bit iffy though, like it will come up with really weird things. I think that one's got 3 weird M's. Yeah, but anyway, you can see like what I've done here, and I can use them now for my mock-ups. That's my sash that I made for my client, and I packaged it up and gave it to her, and she was really pleased with it actually. She loved it. Thank you guys so much for watching my video today. I'll see you all next week in my upcoming video. Have a great week, and bye for now. This is the 3rd introduction I've done, and I just rave on and on about nothing. Not one to go out and think of what can I do as a video. So my daughter and son-in-law will be having a baby, which is actually due today that I filmed. It's just project after project after project, and it was great.